So the parents would got certified and became to the ambulance driver. And the community had to buy ambulance. So we had an actual backpack party in the ambulance journey. And what's it say? First chapter in the South. When we talk about it in the context of the politics, the first phase of politics that we started out with was those local boards. And get bought to the local boards to make sure that the funding that was supposed to be allocated for the community was going to the community. And that being pocketed out of poverty that was others. So we initially got on those boards. Then after we ran Bobby, and he ran around for office. But Lionel Wilson, the first black mayor of Oakland, California, was on the negative side of the community. You knew him. He used to cut on gas on the patrol. We wouldn't just be going on patrol. We'd be in the hood. Then we go to those nightclubs, the social places where the lawyers and all those people hung out. And you would debate and discuss with them. So there was always this interconnection there. Agreeing or disagreeing or debating going on. Ron Dellum, who became the congressman. When we ran Human on the Peace and Freedom Party for Congress, so that we could talk about his case, we used that platform, so we could talk about his case, the free and Hewitt. Ron Dellum observed that the district, then Ron Dellum was a state assemblyman. He wasn't a congressman. And he see how progressive and diverse that district was. Then after he ran in that district, and he became a congressman for over 20 years in that district. It was also thereafter that Congresswoman Barbara Lee became the representative in that district. So there's always been these kind of links and connections of trying to agree and disagree. That means that we got our principles. When we criticize, when it needs to be criticized in a constructive way. And I was power and labor in my paper. It was our tool. It was our lifeline to the community. Even beyond the boundaries of the United States. Paper was a powerful tool. It was taking all liberation movements around the world. We had subscriptions from Africa, liberation movements, from Cuba, from all around, and we used to meet with them. We used to meet with them and discuss with them. And kind of network all the time. You had those who were inspired by the symbol of Africa, what it was about. In London, you had the London Panthers. Australia, you had the Australian Panthers. Polynesian Panthers became a Christian chapter in New Zealand of the party in 1971. And you had in the Middle East, even the Palestinians were inspired by the Panthers. That's why when you went to the Middle East, and you went to Palestine, and went to Israel, they wouldn't let them in. They refused to let them in. Because insiders for people to know, they don't ever heard of Panthers. Most of them from Morocco, different places were there. So this symbolism was great, had great impact. The power and impact of the social program was the reason why we were attacked. Not because of guns. It's because we were wiping out the contradiction by some of these social programs, these free breakfast programs, these free health clinics. We brought that to contradiction which the government should have been doing, but what they're doing. So that's what we became of the enemy that we want. In that context. Because the fact that you had, the reason why you had the free, lunch program, others in the school, as parents and people begin to demand it and wanted it. Because this was something that they say that was relevant and necessary. And it was communicated in a way with great communicators who could break it down on all levels. From the to the community. Once that was observed that Congress deal with this group over here, and this group deal with these over here, and then that, you know, that was one of our became one of our powerful aspects of how we were able to and doing the work. It was work. It was on the job, work. This was not, you know, it's people we talk about it, but it's work. It ain't like it's just this is work. But it's work for people. You had families, young brothers and sisters like myself, others, but who came because couldn't read and write. But when they decided to do something in the context of serving the community, they were inspired to read and write, to learn to read and write. So the impact is the impact of what the Department of Service is doing. And that bigger and now in the right place at the right time and for the right reason in that context. We had international chapter in initially over in Algeria, where we were given liberation status as a liberation movement. I remember when I first was assigned to go over there, before the quarantine called the dissensions within the organization, I was assigned to travel with Kathleen Clifford to meet Elder Clifford in Algeria. When we were there, we were invited to the first Pan-African Cultural Festival that took place the next year. We had all the countries from Africa who came to Algeria in the parades and what happened. We used to meet and eat lunch in dinner with the Vietnamese cousins and sent them to. We used to meet with, we met with everybody that the United States government said we should meet. We met with North Korea, we went to North Korea, we had family went to Vietnam, we had family went to Japan. You had whatever that been happening, pastor went to our representative to Japan. You had the workers, these two working class fight them who was going to represent them while they were there. So it was the context of what we represented symbolically and what we communicated in the 10-point platform program and the coalition conference and solidarity, all those things. Is the legacy that what we were and people were inspired by, in spirit with, in some kind of way. On all levels. I remember early on, we come on Bobby sitting out one day, and this elderly man, he was about 8 years old at that time, and he knew Bobby in the community was talking. And he said, Bobby, he said, you know what? I said, I love those programs, but I just don't like them done. So we had programs, every aspect of the community that people were inspired by. Because you listen to the people. You see it in need, and you implement it. But it's collective back. People ask, well, even ask in the context today, well, how can I do it? How can I do it? How can I create social justice art, revolutionary art? Well, you can do it, but the work that we can't get out of collective. But also at the same time, if you're going to do it, you're just going to do it for the fun. You do it because you may enjoy doing it, but not just because it's fun. This work, and I to be honest, this is hard work until you get that as you evolve the system. And then plus you get into different personalities. We were microcosm of other society that we came out of. So we had to come in. We have to internalize, we have to have computer presentation classes. We have to deal with all the limitations, the shortcomings that we have, and overcome those through critiquing and evaluating ourselves and each other. And coming to a point where it's not personal, and it can't be personal, and it can't be resentful. All those things come in with who we are, has to be transformed and changed. So this is a process. It's an ongoing process. In regards to the revolutionary aspect of a revolutionary organization and our growth and development, you know. You have to put rules and stuff in, and then you start living in collectives. You got to see how that's going to work. You got to have work at the clinic. You got to come home at 2 o'clock. You may be listening on 2 o'clock p.m. You supposed to be security that night around the house. Make sure everything's going on. So So that's your responsibility. We're going to take care of kids in the house. Men and women got to take care of kids. Not just sisters, men and women. Who gonna cook? Who got to fix the breakfast? If there's gonna be clean breakfast. Whoever's assigned. Brother, you got to do it. Sisters, your time. Cleaning the house. All those things are part of collectively coming together. To even get to the point of where we can discuss about the social, the revolutionary politics and everything else. We have to begin to, that's a part of the ongoing process. But internalizing it comes as we grow, as we develop. So that's what I want to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
Alright. So on the panel, we talked about a standoff. We talked about meet the community where there are resources because we know they need them. I love, we actually mentioned love by name right here on this panel. I know what the Black Panther Party stand for. I love y'all for, like, y'all give a lot of people a whole lot of motivation right now that's doing this work. But it's love, the only truth that we need in order to dismantle racism.
Thank you.
We were guided by unconditional love.
Unconditional
Can we
love.
do it? Is it possible to dismantle racism solely on love?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm mic, but I'll take the mic. So I think it is extraordinarily important first. The panel talked a lot about us being communal, about caring enough about one another, and seeing a shift to a more individualistic, selfish kind of, society. And I do think love is the first thing that we have to instill in our community members before we can even get them to start listening to us. One of the things I learned about when I was a teacher, my students didn't care how much I knew until they knew how much I cared. And that means for me and for us at Pure Justice, going into our communities, going to them, meeting them where they are, loving them enough to say, I'm here to listen to you about what it is that you need, what it is that you want to see happen, how you feel. You know, those things, you do that when you love and care about your community first. That has to happen first. Do I think it's the end all be all? Absolutely not. But I do think it is the primary foundation to a movement to unify people in a movement to create the change that we want to see. And then you can start to build upon that. But for me, unconditional love, saying I love you as you are, who you are, where you are, enough to come to you and help you is extremely important. I do not foresee us moving forward without having that as the base of our movement.
So I felt like that question was directed to me. My answer is simple, absolutely yes. The challenge we have is getting an understanding of our interpretation of love. I spoke earlier about creating safe spaces to have dialogue, to have conversations. That is a conversation that needs to be had. I would imagine if I passed the mic around to everybody in here, they would have some type of different interpretation. But for me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't commit my life and my resources and my energy if I didn't believe when I heard that love was all we need. That began my journey. You want to end racism? It starts with love. My sister says she doesn't think it's enough, or it's it. She said it's the beginning. I agree with her. It is the beginning, but it's also the middle and the end. If I don't love you, I won't fight to understand you. If I don't understand you, I won't build community with you. That's just my truth.
I think a lot of times when we say love, we think of Dr. King, Turn the Other Cheek. And I think the Black Panther Party is a perfect example of how expansive the definition of love can be. Right? When they're talking about living communally, how can we live with all these people together and not love one another? Otherwise, there's going to be a whole lot of dissonance in the household. How can you see people on the streets and you want to house them? That's love. You see kids that are hungry and they're not able to pay attention in school, so you feed them. That is love. And so it's not just about, or even another example, you see your community being harassed by the police, and you see police brutality happening left and right, and you want to defend yourselves, and you want to arm your community to defend themselves. That's love. Tired of seeing people killed. That's love, right? And so I just think that is a central component to any movement that we have right now. You cannot operate under hate. It will eat you alive. When I first went to college, Trayvon Martin had just been killed. And hate was eating me up. I was so upset, I was enraged. Because then you had Michael Brown, and you had Sandra Bland. The list just kept growing and growing and growing. And what it came down to is that there was a lot of young people that I was associated with, and we just said, we cannot stand for the conditions that we live in. We love each other so much that we're going to spend every hour of our time figuring out how we will never live like this again, how we can create a different future. The act of coming here to this panel to listen to Panthers, that's love for people who have come before us. I have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter. I do work every day out of love for the future I want to see for her. Something I might never witness. When we talk about movements across this globe, how our struggles are interwoven. I've never been to Palestine, but I love the people there because I know how our struggles are intertwined. And so I know when I get on the mic, I must speak about these issues, and I must give you guys the space to talk about it as well. Right? That's love for people I've never seen, I've never been to. All of that is all love. And so it's not you can't simplify, but yes, the question, can we just build a movement out of love? That's just the basis. It's a lot of, as Emery said, there's a lot of work that goes into it, but it all operates off the foundation of love.
Thank you. And with that, we are going to love our way on to the next. Let's give another round of applause for our incredible panelists. Thank you all for clapping yourselves. This is the Black Power Arts Celebration here at the Riverside United Methodist Church here in Houston. And we're going to give a big shout out to, again, this was put in part by the City of Houston and the Houston Arts Alliance. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, Shawana, for making space as well. Thank you to our vendors who are also here. Yeah, Shawana, we just want to say some few words. I want to give you space to make some acknowledgments that I might be forgetting.
Shawana, tell me where the Aaron got the books over for sale.
Okay. Yes, thank you all again. I just want to talk about the rest of the evening. We have food here, they're setting up in the kitchen, and so give them time to get set up over here. And also we have some of our vendors would like to talk. And then also I'm gonna have an artist do a few poems for the special occasion. And then we have a DJ coming so we can have a celebration. And so I just want us all to celebrate, relax, let out our hair, fellowship, and get to know one another, right? Yeah. So thank you all again. This is an honor. Yeah. And when I was outside, a few people came up. Mr. Aaron has his books and he's going to be doing a book signing, so I know a lot of people were asking me. They were like, is this the book signing place thing going on today? And I was like, well, yeah, that's happening too. And so his books
are in the back, and then we have another author who will come up in a little bit and tell us about her books. And also, Roshan, will you talk more about Pure Justice?
Of course.
Okay, and so in a little bit, we'll start having our vendors and organizations come up. But thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
Thank you.